Oh my goodness, what's up?
I realized, like, it was funny. I think you and I have actually talked about this, but in the early days of this show, and when I say early days, I mean like the first like 3 years, I used to start every single show. I subconsciously I didn't know with what up, and then I realized I haven't done that in a long time, and I don't know why I haven't done it.
Then you just suddenly had to do it.
I've matured.
Hello?
I'm a big boy producer now.
Oh, Lord. Hello to our Kyber Cave Productions family, Mezzo and Arc Excala here, saying hello. And yes, we started a little late. Our guest popped in and we had a discussion about a few things before we came live. But we are here, and it is 1999 again, CS Abel. No. I was 14 years old in 1999.
Oh, my goodness. If we could go back to 1999... I think I would cherish things differently.
We are 20 subs away, you guys, from our next giveaway, which is very exciting. So make sure you share our channel and tell people to tune in. Graveyard and I are going to be recording something pretty soon. I think it's going to be a scary video or just Retro Alcove. We're not certain just yet. Yep, he's got his Retro Alcove shirt. If you want to check out our merch,
I am ready.
You can go to kcpmerch.com and buy your own Kyber Cave merch, Kyber Cave Productions merch, if you would like to check it out.
That's right.
First things first.
Nerdy news!
Is our nerdy news. What's on the nerdy news today? First, no, that is not the correct one. I forgot to upload my... Oh, wait, hang on. Let me fix this. Give me 2 seconds.
I made 50. Them. You better know how to read by now.
No, give me a second. I can fix this now. I can. Shit. I almost said a bad word. I'm going. I
thought you were going to say Shazam.
Shazam. Today is 13th.
Hey, I want to know. Okay, I want to know. This might be kind of embarrassing, but I want to know just because you were on, and I thank you. I love you to death. Cianzabel66, who are you in the real world? Are you Spider-Man? Because I know you're here every show, and I know you watch Distance Nerding as well, but I don't know who you are in the real world.
IRL. All
right. Reveal yourself!
Until we get CS Nable's reply, I'll actually address all the actual nerdy news. So, Star Wars Halloween Shopping Guide 2024. He says he is Spider-Man, yes. If you would like, yes, he or she, that is true. It could be one or the other. That is
or it could be both.
Wrong.
In this day and age, you never know.
Yes. All right, so check out your ultimate guide to all things Star Wars and Halloween. With this guide that you can see adorable decorations, adults and kids costumes, and even greeting cards. There are even some comfy pajamas for the kiddos. And I myself want the earrings that are Grogu, that he's dressed up in like a little Halloween spirit. So check out that article. It is in the description below if you're watching the upload. But if you would like to check that out now, the link is now in the chat. Next on our nerdy news.
We have very cool pins at the Kyber Cave that is Stitch dressed up as Yoda.
That's cute. I have a little Yoda it's a little Yoda just with his lightsaber pin. That's not from Kyber Cave. I actually had it before I started this channel.
I'll have to get you one of the Stitch ones.
Ooh, yay. Next, we actually have Star Wars Celebration Japan badge art reveal. So Star Wars badges often become a cherished souvenir. Star Wars Celebration in Japan is coming April next year. The badge art has been revealed. Japanese artist Takumi drew these in style of original Japanese art, as you can see in the slide here, as well as in the article. There are other badges that you can check out. Takumi, the artist, is a big Star Wars fan and was excited to be doing this. You can check out more in the article, in the description if you're watching the upload. If you're watching now and want to check it out real quick, it is also in the chat.
And in the real world, actually a really good friend of Kyber Cave and B.Y.O. Sabers and / Ripper Blades is a gentleman named Stephen Wong who does a Samurai Vader costume. And he just recently commented, because this came out, and he was talking about how his costume matched a lot of the pieces that were in this artwork. So if you ever want to see kind of a cool real-world version of this, check out Stephen Wong. He's a super cool guy, too.
Yes. So that is your nerdy news for
Dirty news!
Next is our flow of the show. Now, usually every week, James Kaiser is our producer. This week, I went ahead and provided the flow because I thought maybe he was facing some like the hurricane storm stuff because I remember him having storms. I thought he had storms a while back, and I thought maybe that's where he was, and I wasn't certain. But I did find a flow this week called Flow Mayhem. It was a really cool video, and I think the location of the video is like, do you remember in Greece where they raced the cars? that
I wasn't sure if you were talking about the movie or the country.
No, the movie. In the movie Grease, when they race the cars right before she decides to go be Sandy with the black outfit.
Right.
She's watching them race, and I believe this is that same kind of area. It looks just like it. So,
or if you watched
Terminator
Terminator 2.
Yes, that as well, when they're chasing.
Or Freaky Friday.
So many things. So please enjoy Flow Mayhem.
Flow.
So that is the flow of the show, Flow Mayhem.
What's very up, Graveyard?
And giving him permission. Hi, Graveyard. Our sweet Graveyard. Sweet Graveyard. That sounds so strange. Our wonderful Graveyard is here.
I don't know why, but when Cute Catboy said "cool fire," like the first thing I had in my head was like I had that in the Beavis like voice, like "cool fire,
cool
fire."
So,
speaking of which. Look out, hopefully by the end of the year or near the beginning of the year, we should have friend of the show, Mary Gibbs, come back. I just saw her at a con about a month ago, and she is working together with C. Andrew Nelson, who we have had on the show a couple of times, a.k.a. Darth Vader. They have a brand new project that they're working on together that is going to be released at the end of the year. So I believe we're going to have them on individually. And for those that have been around this whole time, if you remember Mary Gibbs, she was the voice of Boo from Monsters, Inc. The baby. She's obviously an adult now. But she also does fire dart dancing, which was absolutely amazing and not expected. So when I saw Yay Fire, I was like, fire, fire.
You were so silly. If you would like to check out Flow Mayhem, I'm going to put her info right now in the chat. You can check out her YouTube page, which is really cool. I found it pretty fun. And I'm going to add her information actually into our description right now because I didn't get a chance to actually add it after I saw her permission to use her video.
That was fantastic. I don't know if I would have done that barefoot, in a big, essentially.
And she had long hair, Van.
You know what? I noticed that, and I saw Graveyard's comment too, and that's why I didn't, make that comment too. Plus, every time I see somebody with long hair, it always freaks me out. It's part of my anxiety.
Not just long hair, but long hair with fire.
Fire.
All right, so would you like to introduce...
Speaking of fire.
Yeah,
fire.
Our guest is fire.
Fire. Our guest tonight is definitely fire. I am super excited. This is probably one of my longest time friends in the saber industry. It's kind of one of those things where you meet through maybe a person you wouldn't like to have met, but then that person went out of your life and you guys remained friends. That's exactly how I am with this person. We run up against them occasionally when we are out on the convention circuits. Her company and my company will both be there, but it's nothing but love. It's one of the things that we have both individually as companies try to exude, that there's enough pie for everybody. There's no need to fight with other saber companies or make negative comments or anything. We are nothing but love. In fact, they helped save us at when we were, I believe, at GalaxyCon in San Jose. We ran out of blades, and we had to borrow blades from them. Then I had to have a store associate drive blades out to us so that I could replace the blade. Anyways, I love these people. You are going to find out why. Such fantastic people. This is Veronica Ripper of B.Y.O, Build Your Own Sabers, and she is fantastic. Roll that film, Mets. Woo!
Hey, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little messy right now. We're in the shop. We're opening up a store in Surprise, Arizona.
Woo! Surprise is the name of the city?
Yes.
I thought it was like Surprise, Arizona.
No, Surprise, Arizona. So it's like in the Phoenix area.
Oh, okay.
Right now we're over here we're cleaning. We're doing all kinds of stuff right now. We're hoping to open by Black Friday. Hoping.
Wow. I see the slats up behind you. That's so exciting.
Yes.
So,
yes.
How are you? Well, first off, how are you? I miss you. Like, a lot of people don't know, but this is my sister from another mister, dude. When we get together, we are always like dream building and talking about, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this. We're like Pinky in the Brain.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. I haven't seen you in forever because Rip is the one that does most of the shows in Cali and in Northern Cali. I'm more of the East Coast person.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
I know. It's amazing how your guys' lives have changed. For those that don't know, well, first off, how long has B.Y.O originally been around? Because when I met you guys as Ripper Blades. I met you as a whole another organization, but you guys are still working hand in hand with both of those businesses. Is that correct?
Yes. I mean, we've definitely slowed down quite a bit on Ripper Blades, only because B.Y.O has taken up so much of our time. Because the way we're marketing B.Y.O, or we started marketing B.Y.O, were conventions. We didn't want to do the website thing like everybody else. And we knew that the saber community was having a lot of issues with the kind of sabers that we sell. Right. You know what I mean? Let's just be real. The China sabers, you know what I mean? Everyone was just like, oh, they're shit, da da da. So we decided, since we were willing to sell them and we felt they were good enough to sell to people, we felt it was the best idea to brand the company was to go show people. Here you go, touch it, feel it, look at it. It's, you know what I mean? You can't really know a product unless you touch it. So all these people that were saying all these negative things about this revolution that happened in the Saber community, because I'm sorry, I want to say about 5-6 years ago, LGT and then now TXQ, and at first it was YDD,
Right.
with the pack store. Let's say the pack store was the number one, was the first one that pretty much started doing this. Their whole set. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like everything on their website. Um, but I mean, it really just completely changed the Saber community, and you know what I mean. For some, it wasn't a good thing for some because they lost a lot of customers due to the fact that these sabers are a lot more affordable. But on the other side, it opened up the door for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of fans that could now afford sabers.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, so what some of you in the audience, wow, this is boom. Let's just get right into the controversy, V. That's why I love you. Okay, so for those of you that may or may not know in the saber industry, for those, the real saber heads that are part of a lot of these saber groups and these forums and things like that, a lot of these people are developers and makers themselves. And
Yep.
especially in the beginning, there was a huge backlash. And I would say to some extent there still is, except for I feel like we're proving ourselves. But there's been, especially, and I will say that it's a lot of times by the established American companies who feel like this is taking away from their customer base, because there is such a difference in product. And this is, and this is not to dog any of the companies. I'm not talking about any specific company because there's a lot of good quality companies out there who you're going to spend $1,000 for a saber, but it's
It's
$1,000
worth a
saber.
thousand
A
dollars.
Vader's
Exactly.
Vault, I'm going to say, is a good
Exactly.
quality. You're getting what you pay for.
Exactly.
But you are going to pay more than a white, LGT or TXQ saber, which
Exactly.
all of our fans know. Kyber Cave is a TXQ distributor. BYO saber is an LGT distributor, so
Yep.
it's kind of I always. And I'm very upfront. I don't know how you are, V, but I'm very upfront at the conventions. I tell people, when they ask, who's TXQ, I always say, imagine, LGT is Toyota and TXQ is Honda. We're never
Exactly.
going to be the Ferraris. We're not going
Yeah.
to be
No. No.
we're not going to be the expensive ones. We're not even going to have product in that type of market. But we'll be the ones that it's going to be long lasting. It's going to be affordable. Something that you're going to hand down to your kids. It's going to
And
have a stereo from the 90s.
exactly. And you know what though? Another way to look at it too is this is bringing people into the custom saber community. You know what I
Correct.
mean? Once you have a few TXQs, a few LGTs, well, they're Nexus now, a few Nexus sabers, then you're gonna want to look at more because it's like tattoos. It's very addicting. So
Right.
this is when the custom community comes in. You know what I mean? When now you see the worth. You're able to be like when at first you were like a $1,200 saber, I would never do that. Now you're
Right.
like, ooh, I
I
need
get
a
it.
$1,200 saber. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
I need a chassis that has two crystals that rotate.
exactly, exactly. So again, like what we've talked about before. There's room for everybody. There's food for everybody. There's
Right.
no need to to compete and do all these things. And it's funny, at the last con, because we had a little bit of an issue with a company. Well, we've always had an issue with that company. But anyway, this last convention that we
Mhm.
went to, I actually spoke to Deanna from Vader's Vault,
Yeah.
and I spoke to Randy and his wife from Core Band.
Oh, okay,
And I
nice.
also spoke to somebody, one of the owners of, is it Oaken? I think it's Oaken Sabers.
I've been
Anyway,
watching a lot of those LA Con videos. It's so funny. I see you guys pop up in a lot of people's videos. Anyways, go ahead.
yeah, no, I mean we're all over the place, but we're L.A. and Southern and Northern California is our home. That's where we started everything. But
Right.
anyway, I'm gonna. Okay, I don't know how else to say it, but I want to start like some sort of a I want us all to get together and actually chat. I mean, I've talked to other companies. Like, when I know another company is going to be there, they'll message me or whatever. And like we sell a lot of cannons. Our
Right.
thing is cannons. You know what I mean? Why is our thing cannons? Because everybody else sells other stuff. And like I said, there's room for everybody to profit. So
Right.
if I know that these three companies are coming, but I know that most of them do mostly RGBs or base lit sabers or and a few pixels, guess what? I'm not going to do too much base lit. I'm going to do pixels and cannons so that we could
Wow.
all eat. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right.
And so what I was talking, I talked to the guy at Oaken Saber. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Anyway, really cool people about the fact that we have to kind of stick together right now because a year ago, a little over a year ago, we were one of maybe two or three Saber companies at a con.
Right.
Now
Right.
we're one of like I think there was like eight of them at LA Comic Con.
Right. I saw Corbanth and I was blown away. I saw Ultra Saber and Vader's Vault out
Yeah,
there, and I was like, dude, those are like that. Okay, if nothing else, and not to get too sidetracked, but to me, if anything else, that shows you how much of a strain there is on the saber industry because like Ultra Saber used to never leave Texas. They would only do the
yep.
conventions in their area, or I think they would go to Florida. I know Vader's Vault used to go to the big one in Orlando.
And New York Comic Con. Those were the two that they used to do.
Right,
And
but they
now
used
that
to
we see
always
them
kind of
everywhere.
stick to their own areas. Now, like I was surprised to see Vader's Vault show up in L.A. That kind of
Yeah.
blew my mind.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them in Tennessee. We've seen them everywhere. We've seen them everywhere, which is great. You know what I mean? I think it's good for the consumer. Now, back to what I was saying is I think, like I said, there's no point in all of us spending, let's say, I'm just giving you an example. All of us spent at least 5 grand to be there,
Right,
right? And then we're all walking with 6 grand.
right,
So we all made $1,000. And this is just
right,
an example. You know what I'm saying? So why not all get together and be like, okay, are you booked for San Francisco? Yes, I'm booked for San Francisco. Okay, you know what? I had a choice of San Francisco or Tennessee. I'm going to Tennessee because I know there's going to be 20 at San Francisco. But the
right,
only way we're going to be able to do this so that we could all make money because there's 300 plus conventions a year.
right.
There's no need and you know what I mean? There's really no need for this, you know what I mean? So if we actually start talking to each other and tell each other, like I am more than happy to post my calendar and be like, hey, this is where I'm
This,
going,
right,
and let's say you're going too. Let's say you already booked it. Message me. Tell me what you're bringing. Are you bringing a bunch of kid sabers and a bunch of pixels? Okay, then that means I'm going to bring a bunch of cannons and a bunch of baselets.
right,
And then when people come to me and say, like for instance, I don't know if this is still true, but Nat 20, I believe they mostly sell base lits.
hmm,
So whenever I know they're going to be at a show, I just pack up pixels. I may have three or four, different models of base lits, but I don't focus on it. And
right,
then when my stuff is gone, that's exactly where I send them. I tell them. Or if they're looking for baselets, I say go to Nat 20 because they have a lot more than I do.
right, right,
They
right,
have a
right.
better variety than I do. And so, and we've done that with a lot of other companies. But I mean,
This year has
it's
been. I tell people this year it's been. I've been doing cons for 5 years now,
yep,
and you know me. I primarily stay in Northern California. Sometimes I
yep,
dip my toes into mid or Southern California, but not too much. Um, and this is the first year I have ever run into another saber company in 5 years. This is the first year I've ever, and it's been BYO. And shout out to the homies at Legion Sabers.
yeah,
Those are, you guys have been the only competition. Which I made friends with Legion Sabers. I'm not one to cause controversy or anything. And of course, you guys are the homies. So I haven't really run into many other groups or anything like that. But I feel like there's more and more saber companies out there now because more people are finding out about it. It's no longer. And on top of that, when Kyber Cave started, I didn't even have a website for our first 2-3 years because my whole thing was I started a store because I wanted it to be a hands-on experience.
yeah, exactly.
Because at that time, you would spend, anywhere from $200 to $600 for a saber, and it would take sometimes a month to 6 months for
Yep,
you to get that
yep,
saber
yep,
in the
yep.
mail. And you a lot of, if it was your first saber, there was always that anxiety of waiting for 2 or 3 months, not knowing if you ordered the right thing or if it's the right setup. I mean, it used to be very individual. Now you get everything. There's so many bells and whistles that you get on these
Oh yeah.
sabers at the basic price.
Exactly. And so it's been great for the consumer. I mean, it's been and it should continue being that way because they're the ones that pay our bills.
Exactly.
So but we just gotta, I don't know, instead of all this BS that's happening, we need to just stick together and figure it out because like I said, there's money for everybody. And I'm talking about and I'm actually talking about the saber companies. There are a lot of other people that are selling sabers, but honestly, they're probably going to drop off because I mean, how is a vendor that has five different models of sabers going to compete with a company that's right down the aisle that has about 80, 90 different, you know what I mean? The
Right.
only way they're going to compete is by dropping their price, which they do. You
Right.
know what I mean? But you dropping your price, that means your profit is going, and eventually you're going to be out of inventory because you didn't, you made $20 per saver.
Right. Right.
After the booth cost and everything, you're in the red.
Right. I think with Kyber Cave, and especially when we've come in, contact with other companies, I think the thing that has helped us is that we've been in this area for 6 years, so
Yep.
we're kind of already a known entity, and the fact that we tell people we're local, and up until what we found out recently, we have a storefront in Vacaville, which we
Yep.
will have until December 31st.
Oh, and
Yeah.
we have to chat about that, but not now, but later.
Right. We got so much to talk about.
I know.
So when did you guys make the decision? Because I've always known when I met you guys, you were officially Ripper Blades.
Yep.
BYO wasn't even a thought yet at the time. And you were really promoting that. Now I know Rip was very known in the industry because he was the only one doing that. But now I see other companies and other artists have basically, let's just say they've stolen his style and his grind, and now they're doing it. But they've got factories and employees, 20 employees that can do these things. It's a whole. I feel like a lot of the artistry has gone away to the mass
Completely.
production.
Completely, which again, it's good for the consumer, but there's different kinds of customers. There's the guy that is fine with something that's just CNC'd, and then there's a guy from the saber community normally that is
Right.
willing to pay $600-700 for something that Rip can do,
That is
by
one of a
by
kind,
hand, which will take
handmade.
them exactly. So we're actually gonna bring it back next year. We wanted to do it this year, but it just wasn't happening.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, okay. So back to your question. Your question about, I remember the first time we did BYO was at the shop in Texas, I believe.
Hmm.
We've had two stores. We had a store in Texas, and we moved to Texas in 2019, and we were there for a brief period of time. So I believe that's when we first started it. But we were just, it was just in the shop. We weren't even now. I don't do any marketing on social media really, like on Facebook, like what we did for Ripper
Right.
Blades. We're going to start to next year, but again, my thing for branding this company was cons, not online or anything like that. But yeah, we started doing it in Texas.
Right.
I think
And
I
at
have a
that time, if and correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember at one point you and I were talking about how BYO, before BYO existed, even before it had a name, but how the lightsaber company, like I think you had bought a couple of hilts, but it was more to show off the Ripper blades because you had these beautiful pieces of art with these acrylic blades, but
Yep.
without the hilt, it's kind of like having peanut butter but no bread to eat it in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, we started the company around that time, but we had been selling um, LGT at the time. Now it's Nexus. We had been selling LGT, the basic hilt, on Etsy for like 2-3 years.
Hmm.
Because, like you said, the saber community had sabers for Ripper Blades, but going to Etsy, and we went to Fan X, I believe it was either 2016 or 2017,
Right.
and that's when I realized that there is that it just dawned on me that nobody here has a saber, so it's really hard to sell these Ripper blades without
Right,
a
right.
saber. So you know what I was doing? I was running to Ultra Sabers, buying Ultra Sabers from them, and coming to my
Mhm.
booth so that I can sell a complete product.
Right,
And
right.
then for another little while, I started referring to different places, and some people would come back with, we're not happy with it, and then some people would come back with, it's too expensive. So I said, you know what, I have to have sabers for my people, not just
Right,
keep
right.
referring them to other places. And so we started with one model, and we did that for about 3 years before we decided to just move forward. And the reason why, honestly, we started BYO was because when we came back, or like really started the website, and really just pushing it, Rip had nowhere to work for about a year and a half. And I won't even tell you the whole story, but one thing after the other, he had no place to work.
Right.
You can't bring a CNC machine to a
On the
to a
road,
two
or
bedroom apartment on the
right,
second floor in Avondale. You know what I mean?
right.
And because of the market, and because we moved back at a really bad time right after COVID, um, everything was just crazy. Like
Yeah.
everything, we couldn't rent. I mean, there was like a 3 month waiting list to rent anything. There was
Right.
no way to buy anything because all the Californians were coming to Arizona.
Right. It
And
was jacking
if
up the prices.
oh my God, yeah, if the listing price was 250, they were offering 290 cash. So come
Right.
on now. You know what I mean? So that blew me out of the water. There was no way to do any of that. So
Right.
so it kind of, BYO actually was started because we didn't know what else to do. We couldn't do Ripper blades, so we said, okay, let's just do the sabers. And then now we're gonna have both, because Ripper sabers, he has a lot of models from Ripper sabers back in 2009. Yes, we
Yeah.
are old. Um, we've been doing this for a minute. Anyway, in 2009, Ripper sabers was going on, and these are original designs that we are, and but they were all made out of PVC pipes.
Right.
So now we're taking all those models. Rip's son is putting them together in files and doing everything, all the techie stuff that we don't know how to do.
Right.
And once we have 12 models, we will be getting them out, and we're hoping to launch by May 4th.
Wow.
We're
That's
hoping. He
amazing.
has about three of them done. They're still working on more. You know what I mean? Like Ripple will send his son a sketch of the saber, and he'll put it, in a file, and then we're gonna take it to Nexus is gonna be the one that's gonna be manufacturing it, because again, we gotta keep it affordable.
Right.
Since they're Ripper sabers, they're going to be a little bit pricier, because it's a custom design and everything, and they're going to be a little bit more. They're going to kind of be between, like, they're going to not be like, they're going to be like between the cannons and then like the nicer looking sabers. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
We're excited about that. That's going to be cool. And the store is cool. I really didn't want to do a store, to be truthful with you. My son kind of pushed me into it because he does anime.
Uh-huh.
So half of the store is going to be anime, and the other half is going to be BYO. And my
Ooh.
son also owns a part of BYO.
Right.
So you know what I mean. So, but he has three kids. Conning was not working for him.
Right. 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 Right.
He didn't want to be away from his kids that long, which is totally understandable. So he's going to be taking care of the store more than I am, because we do all the traveling that we do. But I'm excited. It's going to be fun. It's going to be cool. It's going to work out.
You have amazing things. One of the things that I'm really struck by, of course, my son was down with hanging out with
Yeah.
BYO and working with you guys, but I was really struck by your Instagram videos. First off, who produces? Is that Rip that produces those?
Oh, the one, yeah, he does all the editing on because we want to focus on our customers. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at our Instagram, you're not going to really find any product on our Instagram, which is probably stupid of us not to do. But that's not our focus. Our focus
Right,
is the cosplayers. You know what I mean? And
right.
and and so what we do is we take as many pictures and as many videos as we can of the cosplayers, obviously, if we're not busy. And then Rip does the little round little video that you've seen. He does
Yeah.
those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
no,
no,
he's
I'm always struck by and if you guys have not, I know Mets has it listed over here again is the Instagram info and the website info. But if you guys get a chance to go check out the Instagram, I'm always struck by how much fun you guys seem to be having,
yep, we
and all
do.
you're always smiling, you're always interacting with people, and I see how many likes you get on your Instagram. You get literally hundreds and hundreds of people. So that it shows me that you guys are affecting people and touching people all around the country. And might I
Yep.
say, you're one of the only saber companies that I know are not just in this country. You guys are international.
Yeah, I mean, we've been to Canada. We're going to continue going to Canada. I mean, Puerto Rico is not really international, but it kind of is.
Right,
um,
but you guys are talking about going into South America this year, right?
I would like to do Brazil. Yes, I would like to do Brazil. I haven't done it yet. Germany is one that I'm also looking at. And my son. Okay, so remember how I told you that my son has a percentage of the company?
Right.
Okay, so I was so swamped last year. Like I was like breaking down like every half hour
Oh,
because I was just like doing too much.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, he quit his job as a teacher to come work for me full
Oh,
time.
wow.
And what I told him is, you come help me, and I will give you a percentage I will give you a piece of BYO. And so he did. And so it's been over a year that he's been
Hmm.
with us full time. But now we're kind of branching off a little bit
Yeah.
to where, like I said, he's going to be doing the store. And what he does is I gave him the gamer conventions. So he does all the gamer conventions. All of it is his. That's his babies.
Wow.
Anyway, the reason I'm saying this is because he just told me yesterday that he booked Amsterdam.
Wow.
Yes,
I
because
want to
we.
go. I'll help.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, this is the kicker, okay? Remember I told. Okay, so he has his own cons, right? And he's supposed to
Right.
go do his cons and blah blah blah. That's his thing. Well, guess who's going to Amsterdam? We are. Why? You know why we're doing it?
Why?
Because his ass is scared to fly.
Oh my God. So he booked a con that he can't even make it to.
Well, no, but so I told him I do one for you and you do one for me, which actually worked out because we wanted to take a little break next July, and this
Yeah.
is the end, like in June sometime. So he's gonna pay for my flight to Amsterdam, and I'm gonna end my flight back. But what he doesn't know is that I'm not coming back for another 2 weeks after that. So he's paying for my vacation.
That's actually what I did when I used to work for Exxon. That's dope. And I came into Amsterdam, backpacked for like 2 weeks, and left out of
Oh,
Amsterdam. Dude,
I'm
London and
excited.
Paris are amazing.
I am excited. It's with Twitch because this was our second year with Twitch.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so the next one they have is in Amsterdam. So
What,
so he
TwitchCon or what?
yep, it's TwitchCon.
Oh, well, I didn't know you guys were on Twitch.
Tyler is more than we are. Rip, remember how I told you we're bringing Ripper Blades back?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna be doing YouTube and Twitch, mostly Twitch because once he has an area where he can work, he could just be live on Twitch all day.
Oh wow, just showing
Hmm.
showing how to make the blades, huh?
Exactly. Because I mean,
Wow.
everybody's making them anyway.
Right. Well,
At least.
it's
Go
been
ahead.
amazing because like I said, you guys were the first people I met. I was introduced through another person that we don't need to mention. I was introduced to you guys.
You're so nice. I can be a bitch. I will mention his ass because I can't stand him. He's such a bad person. And you know what's funny? And I won't say his name, but you know who you are if you're watching. Um, we've met people that have met him and they the same reaction. One of those people is Cosmo.
Oh
You ask
wow.
Cosmo, okay? Cosmo is a wonderful man.
Right.
He's like, I mean, I know he's grown as hell, but like he's one of my children now, even though he's like pushing 40. Um,
Right.
you know what I mean? But we have been blessed to have met people that are on like are very much like us. We just our energies blend, and Cosmo's one of those people.
Right. We just had Cosmo on the show last week, and he
Hmm.
was so fun to talk to.
Oh,
In fact,
he is so cool.
I messaged him because I've been watching so many people's videos of the LA con. It's funny because now I know where your table was, and because I've watched so many of these videos, like I could literally walk in the building and walk to where your booth was because I've
And
seen so many people.
and that's where we are every time. So that's where they put us every time. And this one was our 5th year.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've been there, and next year, FYI, I've already talked to the rep. Next year, we're going to be doing like some saber training. We're going to be doing panels. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff next year
Wow.
at LA Comic Con.
Amazing.
I mean, this time around, honestly, and I'll be very truthful with you, like I said, there was like 8 to 10 different saber companies. It was almost ridiculous.
Has it ever been like that before?
No, not like that. I mean, we've been to where there's 5 or 6, but like that many, because there's 2 halls at LA Comic Con. So there was like 4 in one hall and like 3 or 4 in the other hall. Anyway, long story short, it felt like we did more socializing than anything. Because again, it's LA, everybody knows we're there. You know how it is, especially with Rip. Everyone's like, hey Rip, hey Rip, hey Rip, hey Rip, hey Rip. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we were just, and then all the guys from all the saber, like the guilds and the 501st, and you know what I mean? The oh my gosh, the droid builders. Oh, they are kicking the ass. Let me tell you. They are cool. Actually, I'm gonna get you their contacts so you can interview them because they are so badass.
Yeah, I
They are
saw a
the
lot of the
coolest
droids
too.
this weekend. I know we had a crew down there called R2 and the D Squad, but I haven't seen our group as much as the droid builders group down there. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
they had amazing. I saw their C3PO, their life size full body C3PO.
Oh
That was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that our booth is usually in like, I want to call it the Star Wars space, because right
Right.
in front of us are the guilds and the 501st and everybody's there.
So what it seems to me that I noticed, and I haven't done like I usually do. I would say medium sized to small cons. That's my kind of my bread and butter. Whereas you tend to do a lot of the bigger ones. But it seems to me at the bigger ones, you can't just come out and be a saber booth. You got to bring something extra. Like you brought Cosmo with you. I
Yep.
know a lot of times you'll bring professional cosplayers
Yep.
with you to kind of have their own little section. It seems like you always try to bring something extra besides just what you're doing. Is that kind of a requirement when you go to those
No,
types of
not at
cons?
all. I'm the only one that does it. Nobody nobody else really does it. But you know me enough by now where I'm gonna do different shit. And the thing is that, again, of course, we're not a nonprofit. We're here to sell sabers. I mean,
Right.
that's just a fact, right? But we're also here to talk to saber enthusiasts, the people from the saber community. So at Rebel Scum, I had the founder of the Mandalorian in our booth,
Oh God,
Tom
not
Hutchins.
Charlie, huh?
Hutchins, his
Yes, yes, yes.
he is, oh my God, he stayed at the Airbnb with us. He is
Uh-huh.
hilarious. He is so, okay, Cheers, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm aging myself a little bit. You know the mailman guy? What was his
Right,
name?
right. Cliff.
Yes. Oh my God. He's just like Cliff. He knows everything about everything, okay? This
Right.
man knows everything. I mean, he knows where bananas came. I don't know. He knows everything. He is the nicest man. We were so blessed. Again, we're dealing with a lot of people that I want to know forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
We just had, I forgot his name, Dimitri. We just at LA, we had Cosmo on one side, but on the other side we had Dimitri. He was a stormtrooper.
Uh huh.
He was a stormtrooper, and was it an Obi-Wan? Was I don't
It was in Obi-Wan. He was in Obi-Wan. He was also in
Obi-Wan, and he was something else.
Mandalorian. He was also in
He was in the Mandalorian.
Ahsoka show as one
It,
of the zombie troopers as well.
so anyway, so he's played a few roles as a trooper. So anyway, he was with us, totally cool.
Uh
His
huh.
girlfriend was in the booth, the sweetest person, the sweetest girl. So we're actually taking him to SpaceCon in about 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
because
So you bring you basically you buy these their tables for them and kind of attach it to the BYO booth in order to be like an extra like little bonus gift that your fans get.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, my thing is we all got to grow. You know what I mean? And I know how
Right.
expensive these booths can be.
Right.
And 4 feet isn't gonna kill me. You know what I'm saying? And if it helps his career, like with Cosmo has the personality to be. He's gonna be great. He's gonna do great things. Just because I mean, and you see it too, because I know you see this.
Right. Right.
Cosmo
Right.
to not have to have a logo for your company, to have your face be the logo. Come on now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, he knows everybody in LA. I swear to God. He's like the popular guy. You know what I
Right.
mean? He's like the guy that everybody wants to know. But then he's the kind of guy that when you need to go, like when a cosplay is required, he just walks in as Cosmo and he's good to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because his contacts and his leather and his little jacket and all his tattoos. He has a tattoo on his wrists of the Spider-Man thing.
The web
The web
slingers.
shooter. He has web shooters, dude. I mean, how cool is that?
Oh man, you've got one person here. This is our buddy Raphael. Oh, I thought you know Raphael. In fact, I know Raphael because not because of you guys, but through I know we run in the same circles.
Yep.
I think he used to cosplay with Rip or something.
Yeah.
But
That's part of the East Bay Star Wars fan club.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
no,
said
yeah.
he'll be your Mr. Miyagi guest cosplayer if you guys need help.
Well, tell him to send us a message on Instagram.
Woo! There you go, Raph.
So we do bring people into the booth so that we can build more of the community. Eventually, my goal would be to have islands at all of these big conventions, and then just do as a group thing, man. Like a whole Saber community island. Like, you know who
Oh, I love it.
you know what I mean. And on that note, I would like it if you guys came to one of our cons and had a table there. Because I
I
mean,
would
it's
love
Kyber
that.
Cave, dude. You know what I mean?
would.
You could do live broadcasting, do whatever the hell you want to do.
Right. So you hear that, Mets? Mets and I, my producer and I were just
I
talking
hear you.
No,
we were just talking
seriously.
about that because we have a crew up here, our sister crew called Distance Nerding. They're a Sacramento podcast about nerd culture, and they go on tour, and a lot of times they will interview the celebrities at the different cons, and it's a service to the con because they get the free hosting, but it's also then material that they can use and put out on the
Exactly.
podcast stations as little individual interviews. So Mets and I were talking about. I want to, and maybe I should ask your advice because I had thought to, I send out the Kyber Cave tables, but then maybe I should put a KCP table next to it and promote our YouTube channel. Because
Of course. Oh my God. You should have like a little TV running of all of your just the whole time.
that's exactly what I said, Mets. See, look,
Yeah.
I have good ideas.
No,
Vee verified
definitely.
me.
Definitely. Now, we've only done it a few times just because of different things. Like, you know how it is at cons sometimes, the internet is shit.
Right,
So,
right.
but we have a TV that we'll put up, and then we'll just have clips of everything: Ripper blades, TSL, Lightspeed, anybody we work with. Just going. And let me tell you, people will stop and just stand there and watch.
Wow. All right. Well,
So
that's
you
totally.
should definitely do that. You should definitely do that. And like I said, I will give you we'll talk about the schedule for next year, and
Yeah,
we'll see where what would be best. I want to say a big one.
Like Sack Anime. You guys always do that when I can never get in there.
Well, we'll talk about that. I still got to talk to him to see if I don't remember if we rebroke. I'm sure we did, but anyway. But maybe I don't know. We'll see. But like Level Up is a big one that we do.
Ooh.
We've been doing that one for a while, and I just booked Allison Tabitha again, so she will be with us again.
Is she she's the cosplayer?
She's a huge cosplayer. You should totally interview her. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Give me. Everyone you've given me as for a list I've contacted.
Okay, no, I'll give you another list because we're also working with a lot of other cosplayers. Like there's one Mandalorian cosplayer in New York.
Mm-hmm.
She's Puerto Rican, so she's a Puerto Rican Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another girl that is, I believe she's in Philly,
Mm-hmm.
and she's the Mexican Sailor Moon. I
Oh
mean,
wow.
we try to find like really unique ones. I'm looking for the if anybody knows where this guy is, I am looking for the there's a cosplayer that cosplays a rat. So he is the New York City rat.
Oh wow. With like a big
You know
piece
what I
of
mean?
pizza.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want like really cool and up and coming cosplayers. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's another girl. Her name's Cassandra. Oh God, I completely forgot her cosplay name. But she is so awesome, and she's out of Florida, and
Mm-hmm.
she's actually working on a Darth Talon cosplay. She's
Mm-hmm.
gonna freaking kill it when she's done with it.
Wow.
And we're gonna help her out a little bit, and then as soon as she has it, she's definitely gonna be in the booth.
That's amazing. You got a question here. Will you guys be at Fan Expo as San Francisco?
Yes, guess who's going to be there?
Who's gonna be?
Unfortunately, I will not be there because I'm going to be because it's Black Friday and the store's going to be open, and I need to be here.
All right.
But Rip is going to be there, and Cosmo is going to be a guest saber tender.
Oh, wow. Well, if you need anybody, you know we're like right up the road.
Well, no, I already talked to Zayo, and I told him if he can do it because I need a third person.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, so I need a third person there. And another thing, again, we bring cosplayers, we bring just whatever we can. So what we're doing is my niece has a little business where she does like birthday parties and stuff, like those blow up things and then balloons
Yeah.
and all kinds of stuff. She just got a mirror, a picture mirror, those mirrors where you could take pictures and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she's going to bring it to the con, and she's going to be so cosplayers will be able to get into our booth and take pictures of themselves, which
Oh,
is
that's
what
dope.
cosplayers like to do.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Does this is it hard for you to budget like the cost of how much it costs to bring these extra things in? I look at some of the when I watch the con, and I look at some of these booths and I'm like, man, the amount of manpower it must take to like, set everything up before the con has got to be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, Sale didn't see like the setup, but yeah, no, I mean, for big cons, I really need about 2 days to set up.
Wow.
I mean, and and a lot of the times I don't have that much time, so our booths aren't as they're never up to par, up to how I would like them to be. But you know what? I've learned to just go with the flow and just do what I can, and
Right.
that's it. But yes, it does take a while to set up, especially like the level up one, because we had a 20 by 30.
Wow.
That one took, I mean, it took me and Anna a whole day, and then me, Anna, and two other people another half a day to get it done.
Amazing.
So yeah, there is a lot of work to it, but you know what?
And
though,
then
if
you've
you're
got to
gonna do something,
logistically
you're gonna do it right.
right, but you've got to ship that stuff in too.
Well, we do a lot of driving. We got a van. I don't know if you've seen the van we have. We have a big ProMaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That fits everything. And so, like for instance, on Tuesday, I didn't have a convention this weekend because Anna did the convention in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And for the rest of the year, I don't have very many doubles. I was doing a lot of doubles, like 2 or 3 cons a week, every weekend.
Right.
But now I'm chilling out a little bit. So I have a convention every week until like mid-December, but I'm likely going to do most of them.
Wow.
And so what I'm doing is I'm driving from here to Dallas next week.
Here,
and
are
then
you
after
back? Yeah, you're back in Arizona right now. So from Arizona
Yeah,
to
we're back in
Dallas.
AZ right now. So
Okay.
I'm gonna drive to Dallas, and then the following weekend I have another one in Dallas, which is in San Antonio, in Texas, which is in San Antonio,
Mhm.
and then after that we have Rhode Island. So I'm gonna drive all the way up to Rhode Island.
So if you got 2 in Texas, does that mean you're staying in Texas for that week?
I am gonna stay in Texas for that week, but I'm gonna do a lot of marketing because I can't just sit and do nothing. But
When you say marketing, what do you mean? Do you mean getting out and setting up a table or something, or?
No, I'm working on a wholesale program for stores. So right now we have a store in Puerto Rico We have a store in Lake Havasu City, and we have, and mind you, these are like comic book stores or just any kind of fandom store. So we
Right.
have one in Lake Havasu. We have two in the Phoenix area. We have
Wow.
one in Puerto Rico. And so if I'm going to be there a whole week, Texas is a big place. So I bet
Right.
I can hit at least 15, 20 comic books places between Dallas and San Antonio, or anywhere. And then just again, just I'm I'm old school, and I've done this for a very long time. I'll go into the store and ask to speak to the owner and be like, "Hey, you guys don't sell lightsabers. You want to sell
Right.
lightsabers?" You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
so, because, dude, I don't know how long I can do cons every week. I mean, it's hard work. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's hard work. It's time consuming. It's pretty stressful because you put a lot of money into it,
Right. And
and you just
it's
hope it
always a
works out.
gamble. It's
Oh,
always a
it's
gamble.
always a gamble, and especially now. Like, for instance, just again, to be real honest, we definitely didn't make the kind of money that we're used to in LA.
Yeah.
Again, there was 8 Saber companies, so we all had to share the profit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, it's always a gamble, but you just gotta keep going. You gotta just do what you do. You gotta do things differently. We're adding more product to our line. It's all Star Wars related, but we're adding more product to our line next year. So there's this. You just gotta do what everybody else isn't doing, really.
Right.
And the thing with me, I take it up a notch at everything I do. You know what I mean? And so it just works out. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of marketing in the Texas area. See, and then because if I can get the wholesale program going and have enough income coming from that, then I could possibly only do 2 conventions a month. You know what I mean? And then I could actually spend time with my grandchildren, actually see my pets, and maybe even have time for Rip. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's been amazing that you guys have been like on opposite ends of the con. I've done a couple of cons where I've gone out to dinner with Rip, and I love me some Rip, of course, dude. But it's not the same as having all of us together.
Exactly, exactly. But you know what? Let's plan on a con next year, and then we
Yeah,
could, so that Kyber Cave could be there, or or Saber Rattle, or whatever, whatever you want to do, and then just to build that up too.
I am all about that. I am all about that. In fact, we're getting ready to come here close to the end. It's amazing how quickly time flies. Is there anything you want to leave people with? Any goals that you have in this next year? Or anything that you want people to be looking out for from BYO?
Well, we're going to be Ripper Sabers, really. Ripper Sabers. Most, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of saber companies are now doing exclusives, like their own designs and stuff.
We just put
So
one out ourselves.
I know, and I want to talk to you about that too. But so Rip, Rip is talented enough and has been around lightsabers long enough to make some really nice designs that I know the saber community, they're gonna really like them.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's OG stuff. You know what I mean? So if
Right.
you've been in the saber community long enough, you've seen so many different sabers and so many different styles that you know what people are gonna like. So look out for Ripper Sabers. That's coming up. Um, and then we're just, we will be at any convention. Like you mentioned that I do the big conventions, and yes, you're completely right. I do the big conventions, but we also make it a point of going to like, for instance, Wyoming. I think it's Wyoming.
Hmm.
Wyoming only has two comic conventions in their state. You know what I mean? So guess what? Even though it's probably at a high school, at a high school freaking cafeteria or whatever, or gym,
Right.
we'll go to that. Why? Because nobody else does. And these
Right.
people like sabers too. And
Right.
even if
Right.
I
Right.
sell 6 sabers in a weekend, at least guess what? All of Wyoming will know BYO because we saw them and they were here.
Exactly. We have we have done our focus. We've intentionally been trying to stay away from some of the bigger ones, just because I don't want to spend 8 hours setting up a booth ahead of time, and I know that
Yeah,
for some of these, that's what it really takes.
it does.
Not that I would love to try it, especially if we were hanging out with BYO, so I could learn from you, because you are the Yoda of the
You're so
SaberCon
silly.
industry. But I could definitely learn a lot from you for sure. But yeah. I think you were doing amazing things. I oftentimes it's very funny because I'll get people that'll come into our store and they're like, yeah, didn't we see you guys at SAC Anime? And I was like, no, that was BYO. Like, I know anytime anyone thinks that they saw us, it was you guys.
Well, and I'll tell you, we get a lot of people, especially in Northern California. They mention you guys, so you guys are definitely a staple there, and that is why I had mentioned to you before that we need to start doing conventions together. You know, close to home, because bottom line is, I sell Nexus, you sell TXQ. Even though the sabers are maybe similar, they're not the same.
Right, it's Honda and Toyota.
Exactly. So you know, then we'll just have a bigger booth. You have your side, you have my side.
Right.
You know, we both sell sabers.
And we have other things, like I have like autographed helmets and autographed lightsabers and things like that too.
Yeah.
So
yep.
We could definitely do a lot together. I'm excited. Let's definitely talk about this. I definitely want to do it. No, I will pay half or whatever. We'll figure it out. But
yeah, we'll figure it out. And by the way, I just wanted to leave you with this too. Zao. That's all I gotta say. Okay, he's gonna be. He's good. He's very personable for his age.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's a good-looking kid. You know what I'm saying? It was a pleasure having him, because I don't know if anybody knows, but he was a guest saber tender at LA Comic-Con in our booth wearing a Kyber Cave shirt.
That was so cool. And it's funny because you've known Zao since he was like 8 or 9.
He was tiny. Yeah, no, exactly. So I know he felt comfortable. And Anna is somebody that you're probably going to interview soon. She is our lead saber tender. She's the one that did the convention. You know, she's been with us for a little over a year. And what I mean by with us, like, she does at least 2 conventions a month with us.
Wow. So does she live in California, or where is she out of?
No, she's out of Denton, which is about half hour from Dallas.
Oh, snaps. So you fly her all over the country?
Her everywhere.
Wow. I want to talk to you. We got to catch up. I always feel bad because I know everybody wants to talk to you. You're like the popular kid in high school that everybody wants to like have lunch with. But like, I always feel bad about taking your time, but I know there's so much to learn from you. Like, I was like, how are you flying these people across the country and like making this profitable for your business? I have so many questions on a business level.
Well, I'm cheap. Thank God. Okay, because thank God, flying out of Dallas is. I mean, once you start doing this, you see where you can save money.
Right.
Dallas is very cheap to fly into and out of. Thank God, because I fly her in and out, and since she's been flying. So much, like, she doesn't pay for we don't have to pay for a carry-on anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't pay for her seat anymore. It's all free. Wow. She has points. Like, I just flew her back to Dallas, and it cost me $5.60.
Oh my goodness.
Because I used some of her points.
Right.
And then it really depends on when you book. It really depends. I mean, you want to make sure you book on Thursdays and leave on Monday, not Friday and Sunday. You know what I mean? That's going to cost you like $200 or more.
Right.
And then again, I'm cheap. Ain't nobody flying the expensive flights. You better be skinny and fit in that seat. And she's tiny. So I could put her in my freaking carry-on if I wanted to.
Oh, that is fantastic. We would love to have her on the show. I know like I said, we had Cosmo on last week. He was an absolute pleasure. And I think we've got somebody else that you recommended to us that's
probably the Galaxy guys, Galaxy Props.
I believe it is Galaxy Props. If not, tell them to message us again, because I know you gave me a list of like 4 people and like only a few of them responded to us, and we're constantly booking out for the show. So it's amazing. And for those that don't know too, V and Gary were actually part of this show when this show first started 4 years ago. They were part of the staff. So I would do interviews one week, and the next week Gary would find somebody interesting to interview, and we'd switch off week to week. So it's just when you guys got all busy and stuff like that, you guys couldn't be on the show anymore. Yeah, I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, we just couldn't do it anymore. And just a lot of personal things happened, and a lot of how when it rains it pours. That's how I feel about that time. For about 2 years, it was just like we were not catching a break. It was like one thing after the other and after the other. But I mean, everything balances out. So things are coming along, and we're just moving forward.
Right. V, I always love seeing you. I always love talking to you. Some of my favorite memories in the Saber community has been hanging out with you and Rip. You guys are an absolute. Not only are you a pleasure to do business with, because we have done business. I have bought Ripper blades to sell Ripper blades through Kyber Cave. Not only are you a pleasure to do business with, I feel like you're always looking out for the other guy too. When we've done deals together, it's never been just about Kyber Cave or Ripper Blade. It's always been, how can we help each other? What can we do to mutually make things better? I know your fans absolutely love you. Like I said, we're constantly being asked, like, "Oh, I saw you guys at SAC." No, you didn't see us at SAC Enemy. But I'll take it. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to give me credit for V's work, I'll take it. All right, my dear. I love you to death. Let's talk on a personal level soon.
Definitely. I'm gonna be free until Wednesday. Wednesday I'm on the road, and then I'm gone.
When is this? You said by Black Friday you're looking to have the store open?
We're hoping, yes.
Well, once we get a little bit closer to completion, once you message me again or have your son message me, and maybe we can do another video from the shop when it's open.
Totally. I mean, we're gonna do like a soft opening. Because the big opening is going to be likely May 4th, so that we can do a grand opening for the store, and so that we can launch Ripper Sabers the same time. And I mean, we're hoping we talked to the droid guys. They're going to be here. Nice. I'm going to have as many celebrities as I possibly can here.
Right.
And I would, and I'm inviting you guys too. You know
I was going to say, Mets, let's send KCP down there. We'll do like a video of their grand opening.
Yes, I mean, you guys can be here all weekend, do live feeds. The Cosmo show will be here. I mean, let's just do it, man. Let's just do like a mini freaking SaberCon. Just a bunch of Saber people all over the place.
Right, I can definitely help with the celebrities and such if you need to. I'm excited. I always love doing cons.
No, it'll be cool. And I know that, this place is about 1,700 square feet. But the parking lot is where we're going to do it, because we have a huge parking lot in front. So I'd rather
we can get other vendors too.
Exactly. No, totally. There's so many vendors here in the Phoenix area.
Oh, I'm excited.
You know what I mean? And then I'd like maybe Lightspeed and the Saber TSL to come.
Oh, Kang will come out. Kang would love to come out.
Yes.
Oh, and then, Mets, it sounds like we're going to plan another con, Mets.
No, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And yes, I will definitely message you about getting maybe a few celebrities you've already had.
Yeah. Like I said, we just had, I noticed you had a picture of Chris Bartlett in your booth, and he came out to our store. Him and David Gonzalez, who was on Jabba's, he was the drummer on Jabba's barge. Mm-hmm. In fact, he was down at LA Con. We had a small presence there. I don't know if you know, but we were associated with, there was a group called Project Make-A-Wish. And they actually had a small little Kyber Cave display inside their booth. But they had like 3 Star Wars celebrities at their booth as well.
Yes. I believe. No, I know exactly who you're talking about. I believe because Rip gave them a saber, and they came over, and I taught the little girl how to use it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they had a child that that they sponsored last year to come to the con, who was there with his family. So we gave them sabers, and then we gave them some sabers to raffle off or something like that. So
and and honestly, that's what it's about, man. It's about the community. It's about helping each other get ahead. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's why we do what we do, because we just we just meet awesome people, and Star Wars fans. Listen, people talk shit and say Star Wars fans are toxic. Okay. Yeah, they are. Okay. But they're also like, the community is like tight. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like a gang almost, you know what I mean? It's like, don't fuck with them, but because they'll stick together. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like all these people we meet, it's wonderful. I love it. I just love it.
It is definitely a community in of itself. All right, my dear, we are over. I love you so much. Give Rip my love. I
Okay.
can't wait to see the new shop. Please let me know anytime you guys have anything new to promote or anything you want to talk about. You guys are always welcome on the show. Like I said, you are some of the OGs. You're the original gangsters who helped us start this show 4 years ago, and you are always welcome back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you so very much, and I'm very happy to hear that things are a lot better for you in a lot of ways, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Right, right,
You know what I
right.
mean? And so and we're here for you, man. I mean, I know
We'll
sometimes it's
talk.
hard to get me, but
We should have a debate with you and he who should not be named that we were talking about right before the show. We'll bring you guys on at the same time.
hey, as long as we're not in the same room or in a dark alley,
Put that shank away.
I'm game. I'm game. You know what? Freedom of speech. That's why we're here.
Hmm.
You know, we all have the right to speak our minds, our opinions, facts, whatever it is, lies. I don't give a shit. You know what I
Right,
mean? But we all. That's why America is what it is. You know what I mean?
right.
And so I'm game. I think it would actually be. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know how good it would be for him or not. But at least it would give him a voice.
Right, right. That was my thought. I know that he is not the most popular. He's not a popular person at all within the Saber community. However, maybe he has something different to say about it that we're not hearing because we only hear the one side, or you know what I mean.
True.
I don't know.
True.
I've never
True.
personally interacted with this gentleman, so I can't. I'm not going to talk smack about something that I know
Yeah,
nothing
no, that you
about.
don't exactly because you've never interacted with him. And bottom line is this: the negative stuff always comes out. I mean, I could sell 100 sabers, and the one guy that got the bad battery is the one that's posting and doing all kinds of shit. But
Right,
99 that are happy and blah blah blah, they're not messaging me and telling me how happy they are, or at least most of them
right.
aren't. You know what I mean? So at least I'll give him that much. You know what I mean? There's a lot of negative stuff about him, but I'm sure there's positive things. And hey, and
We
bottom
don't
line
get
is
those.
I don't know if he's listening or not, but dude, we don't get along, but you call me and you ask me for any kind of advice on how to make your company or your image better. I'll be
Right,
more than happy to help you. And the
right.
reason why, and it's not for you, I'll just be real, it's not for
It's
you,
for all
but
of
it's
us.
for the customers, because at the
Right.
end of the day, they are the most important, because they are the ones that pay our bills, and a lot of companies don't understand that.
Right. And it also makes the good companies look bad as well.
Exactly, exactly. So hey, I mean, yeah, I won't go too much more into it because I always stick my foot in my mouth and I'm yeah.
That's what we love you, V, because you're always open and honest. All right, my dear, we got to get going. We will
Okay,
talk to you next
later,
time.
Gator. Okay,
Adios.
bye. Mhm.
Hey, that last picture was our man Chris right there.
Yes, it was. Yes, it
He
was.
was at the Kyber Cave, for those that do not know, roughly two months ago or so. You know what? It was funny, Mets. I had literally just been talking today. We were talking about how, for those of you that may or may not know, Kyber Cave is going to be closing its storefront December 31st. We found out that the store that we are in has decided to close, which means that we are closing. And to be honest with you, the storefront doesn't get enough traffic to justify the payroll that I have to pay, and that I have been paying. People just don't shop like they used to after the pandemic. Before the pandemic, our store was hopping. Like, people used to be in there literally every day. We had people in there. After the pandemic, people just don't come out like they used to. They seem to do a lot more shopping online. Which,
Yeah.
we can accommodate you there too if you want. You want to buy from us through the mail, we can do that too. But we are going to be converting over to a lot of what V is doing into the con model. I'm going to try that out for this next year and see how it goes. Because I've never not had a storefront before, so this is new territory for us. So look for Kyber Cave out more on the road. I want to be hitting a lot of the West Coast states. We're going to be doing more trips to. There's a show called Gem State in Idaho that we're close with Colossal Girl Entertainments. We were probably going to get out there. They have a new one that they're doing in the Seattle area. It'll be interesting to see if Saber Forge shows up over in that area, because they also sell TXQ now too.
Oh.
So,
all right.
Speaking of which, I know you have a fun game coming up for us.
Yes, we have Guess That Saber.
Guess That Saber! I always think of the Pokemon. It always makes me feel like Pokemon.
Yeah, I know. That's what kind of has the colors, too. Can you guys guess whose saber this belongs to, this hilt? If you know, tell us in the chat. Van can give his guess as well.
I'm putting mine in the private chat now.
Ooh, in the private chat.
And
I have bios for both of the people. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
I'm putting in the private because in case somebody else guesses the same thing.
You are correct.
Oh!
So now people will wonder what he did. What did he guess? How did he get it correct? This saber hilt belongs to... Yes,
the wife of Luke Skywalker.
Yes, Mara Jade. She was a force-sensitive human female who was, during different times in her life, an Emperor's hand, a smuggler, and later a Jedi Master who sat along the Jedi High Council. Yeah, it just sounds weird when I say it out loud. Mick Saberton. She was raised as a servant and assassin to the Emperor Palpatine and became a high-level force-serving. I can't speak tonight or read. Force-using operative. After Palpatine's death, she received his last command, which was to kill Luke Skywalker. However, the death of her master caused her to go rogue. Eventually, she joined smuggler Chief Talon Card. Over the years, she continued to work for Card and interact with Skywalker intermittently. She also continued to grow closer to Skywalker and worked alongside him on numerous occasions. The two finally realized in 19 ABY. If you don't know what ABY means, it's the timeline in Star Wars. ABY and BBY is how they go it.
After the Battle of Yavin.
Yes. While on a mission to Nirawan, that they were in love and wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. And after marrying Skywalker, Mara Jade took the surname Skywalker and devoted her life to the new Jedi Order, becoming a master in her own right.
Aww.
So there's a little info about her. The next saber.
Wait. So really quickly, I have to tell you, one of the coolest things I ever did when Kyber Cave was like 2 years old. We did our first wedding sabers. And the wife had gotten the Mara Jade, and the husband had the Luke Skywalker. And then I got a coupler and put them together as if the two were coming together. But then we also had the first line of their vows engraved onto their sabers as well. And then we got them like a wall mount and stuff. So that way, it's like the two of them coming together. But then when they're angry with each other, they can pull them apart and fight.
That's okay. Next hilt.
Ooh.
Do you know who this is?
Is it the Muffin Man?
Do you know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane?
That's what I said. You know, my son and I have a debate about that line. That's what I said was Drury Lane. All right. Double-sided. Star Wars books are so detailed.
They are. And sometimes I'll choose people that are either from the books, from graphic novels, that are from the animated shows, because those are things that are less likely to be viewed.
No, I love it. I love that the variety that you bring. They're not just the main ones that we would expect to see all the time. But I can't think of who has a double-sided that has claws like that. Okay, this is a good one.
Ooh. Anyone in the chat? No?
Anyone? Bueller. Hey, who is it, Rip? Do you know this saber? Put your guess in the chat if you know this saber, Rip. All right.
All right. Who is it? Do you all want to know?
Who's that saber?
This saber belongs to Darth Vindican.
Darth Vindican.
Yes.
I do not know a lot about Darth Vindican.
Darth Vindican was a male pureblood Sith Lord who served the Sith Empire in the early days of the Great Galactic War. When masterless, Vindican advanced to the level of Sith Lord and took an apprentice of his own, the young and talented human Malgus.
Oh.
Is a Count Dooku bodyguard droid weapon. In a battle with Khal Sen Durak, the Sith Master's fallen double-bladed weapon was taken by Malgus, who engaged and killed Durak with it. After Malgus returned to Vindican, he exchanged words with him before executing him. So his own apprentice executed him.
Yes.
So why did he kill him? Well, earlier, Vindican came to after other people had escaped that weren't supposed to, and was mocked by Malgus, his apprentice, for failing to keep survivors from escaping. And so, believing him to be a failure, he executed him.
Ooh, yes. And a lot of you don't know, as a lot of you do know Darth Malgus. He is very popular in the video games. He is the one that has which would make sense if he stole that saber from his master, but his is the one that has like axe blades on the side, and he thought, if you were not a force wielder, you were not worthy of dying by the lightsaber blade, so he would cut your head off with the axe part of it. And we sell a battle damage version of that, which is very popular at the shop.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, I want to remind you to please visit kybercave.com and check out the sabers that they have there. If you share our channel, in about 20 subs, we'll be doing a giveaway. So
20
make
more.
sure to make sure to share and tell people about our channel. And if you want to help support us in any way, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can go to kcpmerch.com and buy some merch. You can actually do the patreon.com/kybercave productions route, where you can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can also give YouTube super chats. We monetized the channel 1.5 years ago, and you can actually give super chats here, which is like just a tip, basically, for the channel. But one of the best ways is to watch and share, please. That helps us a ton. Make sure to hit that like button and get our name out there.
And next week we have Dave Warren, who, if I am not incorrect, he is the artist from The Simpsons, correct?
Yeah, he's the one that I have the autograph.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have it up on the wall soon.
He was the one. He said, and I actually kind of wanted. This is so sad. I kind of want to do KyberCon 5 because we're going to be going out. I was like, what if we do one last bang in the shop in December? Because David Warren wants to come out. Stephen Constantino wants to come out as well. He was the Gamorrean guard from Return of the Jedi. But David Warren said he wants to come out to the shop and that he would do a poster for the event. And I was like, how cool would it be to have a Kyber, like one specifically for Kyber? I want to do it just to get the poster.
Could you imagine if he drew us?
Oh my God! As like Simpsons characters.
Yes.
Oh my. Oh, okay. That's almost like I've got to do it now. Now we've got to do KyberCon 5. You have made this decision, Mets. This is all on you.
I did not say a thing. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this week, and we apologize for running a little bit late. You guys have a wonderful week, and please enjoy Talk of the Town. Catch you later.
Adios, y'all. Thank you. We love you.